All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Banya.
The only podcast brought to you from a hot sauna.
And brought to you by Can High Boys. These drinks are seltzers with a little bit of THC in there, so nice little way to unwind in the evening and avoid alcohol poisoning, you know? So, boom. Today's guest is Billy. Hit us with your last name?
Conn.
Okay, and that is... You're just the most Viking-looking dude ever, and that name fits that. Where's your genetics from?
Ireland, Sweden, and Germany.
Yeah. Mostly Swedish, I'm guessing, dude.
Yeah.
Just by looking at you.
At least 51%.
You could have been on any of the episodes of the Vikings so quick.
I know. I really missed out on that one.
Dude, that would have been fun to see in there. You're a terrifying looking human being, I'm just going to say that.
Well,
but,
thank you.
Yeah, by appearance, but one of the most loving and beautiful human beings with your heart. So it's such a cool juxtaposition.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. I remember the first time when you were at the gym and everybody's like, "Have you never met Billy yet?" I was like, "No, who's Billy?" I look over, I was like, "That guy?" I was like, all right, let me go meet them. Because they said only good things about you. And I was like, I introduced myself, like, all right, what's up, Billy?
Is this a trick?
Like, your eyeballs are telling you
let's roll.
To stay away from you, yeah. But...
and a great friendship ever since then. So, beautiful human being, like Luke said.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you coming to the podcast. So hit us with a temperature reading, if you could, on that thermometer to your right.
Yeah.
170?
Yeah, we're cooking. How do you do? Are you a sauna guy?
Not really, but, you know.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
You should be, dude, with your genetics.
I know, that is like a
capital of the world,
a Norwegian pastime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man,
hitting the saunas.
Yeah, baby, it's a beautiful thing. I love it so much, dude. Just especially we got the
wood burn,
the wood burner.
Cool.
I brought it inside. I was looking at different models, and I'd only ever seen outside feeders. Yeah. So you have to throw the logs in from the outside, right? Mm-hmm. But I saw this setup, and I was just like, dear God, I want to stare at that fire while I'm sweating in here, surrounded by, cedar. Smells good. It's amazing, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is super cool. I like that.
All right. Well, how do you expect you're gonna do today, dude? With in this sauna heat?
Well, should be fine.
Yeah,
it's the same concept as getting smothered.
For sure. Yeah, very familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
Kabe kicked our ass. He was just sitting in here, no problem.
Oh yeah, I was sweating through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet he's the king of sweat.
Problem. Why are you such a wussy with the cold water though? That's also for your genetics. Come on, bro.
So I think it's because I got PTSD from that when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, and so when I was little. My mom lived in Northern California, and there's this place called, I think it was called Triple Pond Creek, and it was these 3 natural ponds that were in rocks, and so they were super slick edges and just deep.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so we went there, I
granite.
think it was
it's all granite, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was early spring that we went there, so it was warm outside, but the water was still from the melt.
Spring I'm from Northern California too, and that's when everyone dies because it's warm out and everybody wants to go swimming, but the snow's all melting, right? Like you said,
it's the
and it just starts flooding down. So it's frigid too.
Mm-hmm. And so that's exactly what happened. You have to jump into it. It's because it's a pool, and then the side you get out is on the other side. And I was I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years old, and I jumped in and instantly was fucking petrified cold. I couldn't breathe, and then on top of not being able to breathe, there was nothing to grab onto, so the walls were slick. So I almost drowned.
Damn, dude.
And so I think that's why cold water fucks me up so much. But I have been building a relationship and slowly getting back into it. I went to Fossil Creek last winter.
Yeah.
And I went swimming there, and I was fine.
That temp's beautiful. It's year round, 55, right?
Yeah,
that's my kind of water right there. That's in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. You in the lower Fossil Creek, or did you go at Bob Bear?
No, just the lower one.
Yeah.
Where did you live in Northern California? What's the town?
More central, actually. I lived in Atascadero.
Oh, okay.
Which is San Luis Obispo.
Right.
It's the main town.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that part of California. It's a little rough for some people, but I kind of the dry valley down there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but like, yeah, it is super rough. There's like a lot of drugs and like stuff like that.
Yeah, in the valley towns for sure. Yep, but that's kind of everywhere now, right? I mean, certain cities are more beautiful than others, but yeah, things got a little weird, as we all know, over the past 5 years. It's like not in a good way.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a large part of that too is like it was already like that, but just like that level of isolation kind of perpetuated it and like helped put it like on the forefront, and people like to realize those things more.
Well, not just the isolation, but literally lives ruined, economically.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we all that's always, everybody knows that's a recipe for like bad drug use, right? Where like your life starts falling apart and you're not too much further away from jumping into some bad stuff, Yeah,
like 100%. So I'm actually like in school for that right now. It's called Being True to You, and it's essentially they call it a transformational recovery, and the whole concept of the course is to help people that suffer from addiction or mental health and use psychedelic integration to do those things. And a lot of people believe that addiction is a disease, or it's something that like you're born with, and it's something that like you're just going to suffer from. But the whole concept of the school, and it's very similar to my beliefs as well. There's a doctor, and his name is Gabor Mate, and he's done a lot of work on addiction and things like that, and like he has the exact same concept that I've had, and that like like let's say you're addicted to alcohol and that's your thing. So a lot of people believe like, okay, you have an alcohol problem. And like I'm the opposite. It's like, in my opinion, you have an alcohol solution, because whatever your problem is, you're using alcohol to curb that problem.
Right.
And if you just take away that, well, you're taking away the thing that's helping you, and it may not be a healthy thing, but it is serving you in some way, and that's why you're using it. And so if you're able to get to the root of why you need to use alcohol, then getting rid of like your addiction to alcohol is like, I'm not going to say easy, because it's still going to be challenging, but it's going to be a lot more tangible, because you're not having to use the alcohol to deal with that pain. You've dealt with that, and so now the need for the alcohol is a lot less.
Well, so like the spread on what drives people to need alcohol is pretty heavy, like wide, right? Like different, the reasons. I mean, I would imagine somebody say that it was like abused as a child.
Yeah.
Like that's, how do you turn that off? I mean, you said psychedelics, obviously that's probably a huge part, right?
Well, so psychedelics is just like one avenue you can take, and like,
is that, sorry, one thing, is it like, so this program and everything, it's all like legal and everything, or is it? Yeah. Because
so the course isn't technically, it's teaching you about psychedelic integration. So the course isn't technically like teaching you how to administer psychedelics. Right. It's once somebody has gone through a psychedelic experience, you coach them on the integration from what they've gained in that experience.
Okay. So you're kind of hands off on that part, and people just need to come to you.
I do both
with that experience. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the actual facilitating I do as well, but that is not through the school. That's through like my own practice and like learning from other people.
Has there been anybody with like a specific issue that hasn't, like an unsuccessful thing, or has it been super successful?
For me personally, I haven't had anyone, but I have talked to people who have had unsuccessful experiences. And from my perspective, the number one cause of that is exactly the lack of what I am doing, is the integration.
Yeah, you need somebody there, like, explaining, right?
And not necessarily you need somebody there, but you need the acknowledgement of the necessity of integration. Because a lot of people, like, they hear magic mushrooms, and like that's what I work with specifically. And so they think, oh, okay, it's magic. It's just going to like magically
it's a pill.
Cure everything.
Yeah.
And like the way that I like to describe them is like they're tools. And like, let's say like they're the answers to the test. But if you don't take the test yourself, those answers are worthless. And so that's kind of like what I do, is I help you understand the answers, and I help you understand how to implement those things and make changes. Because if you just have these experiences and it's like you have these aha moments, but you don't ever do anything with them, then it's like you never really had them.
Right. No, that makes sense. I saw a funny meme. It was like, you can't just do mushrooms. You have to work on the inside.
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
You can't just like they're just not a magic pill. You gotta actually put your mind to it, I guess, is the point of that funny bumper sticker. Boom.
How long have you been doing this for, Billy?
The school I've been in for about 6 months, but working with like psychedelics for healing purposes, I've been doing for about 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Nice.
And a lot of it has just been like with like friends and people I know. It wasn't really like anything like professional wise.
You were just trying to take care of people in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to start anything, man.
All right. That's cool.
So is that like that's your path forward? Like that's something you want to make your principal thing you do?
Yeah. So once I finish this school next fall, I'm gonna go back to like traditional college so I can get my degree as an LPC, which is a licensed practitioner counselor. And then after I do that, I'm going to get certified to be an EMDR trauma therapist or counselor. And once I do that, and I've had experience that, the long-term goal is hopefully, because that'll probably be another 4 or 5 years until, because I have to get my master's, and then after that I also have to go through like the course to get EMDR certified.
Right.
And so hopefully by that time, psychedelics will have gained a lot more traction with being like legally used for therapeutic uses. And I would like to create a clinic that has both of those things and is able to, like my whole concept is like mind, body, spirit. Like, the therapy is like the mind, the like psychedelics are the spirit, and then body is like physical movement, nutrition, things like jiu-jitsu, yoga. And once you're able to take all 3 of those things and combine them, it's just like a really beautiful recipe for like a lot of like development and growth and healing.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's a good segue into jiu-jitsu. Obviously, that's how we know each other. So tell us about your journey in jiu-jitsu, starting it, where you're at now, and just everything about it.
Yeah, so like I used to wrestle and I used to box when I was younger. So like I've always really liked, combat sports and those type of things. And so I was wanting to get back into something like similar to boxing. And my friend Evie, she trains down at Paul Nava's place. And so I went there we were hanging out one day, and she's like, oh, like, we have a promotion ceremony. You should come check it out. And I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, that sounds like something that would be fun.
Your first dip into jiu-jitsu was a promotion ceremony?
Well, I did jiu-jitsu for a couple months when I was in high school. And then, like, McMap in the Marine Corps is similar to jiu-jitsu as well. They have, like, aspects of it. But that was, like, the first time in maybe, like, 10 years or something. And so went to that promotion ceremony, and then that's when I met our coach, John Cabay, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he was like, yeah, man, I have this academy up here in, like, Paradise Valley. You should come check it out. And so there was, like, a month or two, I was just kind of busy doing things, and then I came and checked it out, and I didn't sign up. He's like, yeah, you can come in for this week, do, like, a little trial class, and, see how you like it. So I did 2 classes, and was instantly like, yeah, like, this is awesome.
Hooked in, yeah.
So the physical aspect is definitely like what brought me to it. And then like very quickly I learned that like it's so much bigger than just like the physical aspect. And it really helps you like for one, the community we have at like Aries PV is amazing. Like, it's like guys like you that have like become my really close friends and family. And it's one of the only places like outside of the military, and like, well, to like segue real quick, the problem with the military is you have that brotherhood and that camaraderie, but it's a very like toxic. It's a lot around like, very like alcohol and drug like driven like relationships and like trauma bonds with like war and like abuse and things like that. And so this was like the same thing, but in a very healthy manner. It was that same level of camaraderie and familyhood and brotherhood, but with people who are trying to better themselves and like be the best versions of themselves and not escape through like substances and things like that.
Sure. Dude, yeah, it's just having everybody's got their own journey. It's cool to see all the collective journeys, that everybody's having. Everybody's in a different place, but the end goal is just bettering themselves, it seems like, for the vast majority of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like it's almost like Peter Pan. It's like the community. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a magic Disney. Like it in all of life, that like Aries PV, our little gray wolf circle, it's like a little Disneyland for adults. You know, it's wild, man. Just all the characters, just all the this crazy stuff going on. It's really truly beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
sure is.
I'm sure it's been mentioned so many times before, but like one of like the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu and being on those mats is it's literally like like an equalizer. Like it doesn't matter. You know, we have a dude that's a lawyer, a dude that's a doctor. We have like cops. We have people that like in the real world like may never really come into contact or give each other a chance, but because we have this like mutual love of this combat sport, it helps us connect and realize that some of these people we may not have realized we had this connection with, like we do have these connections with, and we're able to like develop those.
Yeah.
All right, you want to take a dip into Valhalla? Hit us with some water, baby.
Very well.
Don't get the coffee. So I got a percolator in here with us. So we've got it's like a gallon container of coffee sitting on the rocks. So Billy had to avoid that. Boom. All right, that's nice, huh?
There you go.
I'll get to your head, baby.
It's steaming.
Yeah, dude. Hard to think when that kind of heat wraps around you for a nice little rear naked.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so you been doing jiu-jitsu for a little over 2 years now, or what's
a little under 2 years. I think February will be my 2-year marker.
Okay, nice.
Like towards the end of February.
Sweet. Yeah. You've competed a bunch of times. Recently got your blue belt a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I've competed probably, I think, 5 or 6 times. I think I've taken gold 6 times now. Took a silver and then a couple of bronzes.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then recently, I got my blue belt. But yeah, it was interesting because like right around the promotion ceremony prior to that, I broke my finger. Not doing jiu-jitsu. And then right when my finger healed up, I came back for a week, and then I hurt my back. I got really bad back spasms, so I was out for like a total of like 2 or 3 months altogether. And it's really interesting how that happens with jiu-jitsu. Like, you really gain traction and start to like get in a groove, and then like you'll get this little injury and this little one. And I think like the real hard thing is like building the honesty with yourself of like how often can you really train and stay healthy. And I think that was like the biggest obstacles, because like the first like once I was in for like 2 months, the first 6 months after that I was training like 8 to 10 times a week. I was just like doing like 2-a-days, like coming every day, because it's so much fun and you want to learn and get better. But like you have to realize like, I'm not super old, I'm only 33, but like I'm also not 21 anymore. And so it takes a little bit longer to recover.
How old are you?
33.
What the hell? You look like you're 50 years old, my guy. In a beautiful way. You're one of the hottest 50-year-olds I've ever seen.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Well, damn, dude. What were we talking about?
Just jiu-jitsu.
I had something for him, yeah. Well, I guess it's in the air now, baby.
Maybe the injury thing, or like overtraining.
Oh yeah. There's a magic number in there where if you have to be consistent to not get hurt, but you can't overtrain, right? So like people that show up once a week or once every couple weeks, like your chances of getting hurt is pretty decent. Whereas if you're like 3-4 days a week plus, like your body, and it's different for everybody, like you said. But your body will get in a groove where you don't get hurt anymore. Like you're not sore, you're not, this and that. I mean, every now and then Vinny will make you sore, no matter how good a shape you're in. But
for sure.
It's the best way to do it to stay healthy is to get in a regular pattern.
And you'll do gi and no gi, but are very partial to the no gi.
Yeah, I definitely would not do gi if I had a choice.
He refuses to pull guard either, which is
will never happen. Will never happen. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I definitely prefer no gi, and I would like to do no gi, 8 days a week. But I do see the value in gi, and I think it's very beneficial, and I do think there's a something beautiful about like doing things that you don't like doing as well.
Sure, yeah.
Like I think that really helps build a degree of discipline and fortitude. So like, and I don't dislike gi. It's just like the grips are really annoying, and the only reason they're annoying is because I haven't invested the time to utilize them correctly.
Sure.
So
I think
that's just on me.
Always going to be annoying though.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are at dealing with them.
Yeah.
That's just part of the deal.
It's just like, I feel like in no gi, like I'm pretty good and I can really hold my own, but then like, I'll get in gi and I'll have someone who's like 130 pounds just fucking destroy me because they're really good at utilizing grips and just are able to feel like they weigh 230 pounds like on my neck.
Suddenly Nancy has you in a zipper.
Exactly. And I feel like the chokes just come on so much quicker in gi.
Yeah.
It's you got to be real quick with the defense on those things.
Yeah, for
Heck
sure.
yeah. Do I hear that thing percolating?
A little bit.
Might be.
Such a fun machine. Do you have one of those?
I do. I use it when I go camping.
Yeah, for sure. They got one for the stove top too. Like you can make like espresso.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
That's the move, dude. It's mechanically super fun, right? It just boils the water through the tube in the center, and then it kind of spreads out over the coffee grounds.
Yeah.
I'm starting to smell it a little bit, like that coffee.
A wee bit.
Yeah. Boom. Well, what's up, dude? What's next for you besides all your school stuff, which sounds daunting?
Really just kind of like been working on myself and trying to like develop a healthy routine with nutrition and work and school, and taking time as well to like be able to just like decompress and enjoy things. And so.
Yeah, no, that's smart, dude. It's like you're getting yourself right and ready you're gonna help people better by doing that, because we all hate walking into a doctor's office and it's some 300-pound 5 foot tall person telling you how to be healthy, and you're like, Jesus, man, why don't you go swallow your own medicine here, because it's not working.
I'm gonna hit the cold plunge.
Hit it, man.
Yeah, let's take a quick break then.
Boom.
Cold plunge.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even tell the story. All right, we'll do it after. Didn't even have to bust that out to get him in there.
No.
Dude, it's always the best thing, too, Billy. That's what you gotta tell yourself. That feeling right there.
Brace the suck.
Right how you feel right now. You just gotta know that's what's there. Hockey, Sam? You're ziplining, you're hockeying. Can you do taxes? Yeah. I'll bring you an Excel spreadsheet. Which technically, as long as your podcast is profitable.
Technically. We've been profitable so far.
I mean, a free donated can.
That's true.
I mean,
Free donated can.
Then these are all depreciating equipment.
That's
so
true.
These are just tax write-offs. Well, it's charity work, like having Billy on.
Alright. You gonna wrap it up?
Oh, we're smoking, baby. Sam, hit us with a little video shot of that stack for Dana. Oh, actually, it's better we save this for the end, Dana.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're finishing up. I'm not gonna say our goodbyes, but I gotta tell Billy something. So normally the cold plunge out front right there, I drain it between all guests and refill it with fresh hose water.
Okay.
So I let this one stew. So Kabe's butt's been in there, Kristen's butt's been in there, Chad's butt's been in there.
Yeah.
Who else? Maybe more. So I kind of cultivated that stock tank for you, because you're a Viking, dude. And have you seen the show Vikings?
Yeah.
So my favorite is that they're in the hall, right? They got the big fires going, and they're gonna start to eat, and they pass around that bucket. And they just stick their boogers in there. They have a sip of it. They pass it to the next guy. And then they shove they just blowing snot rockets in there. And they just keep going. So it's like build your immunity type of scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what we did for you, dude.
I appreciate that.
And it was funny because you just stuck your head back in there. And I enjoyed that shot. But yeah, man. That's my favorite one of my, well, he's not my favorite, maybe like top 3 farmer in the country. Regenerative farmer out of Virginia. What the hell is his name?
You talking about White Oak Pastures?
No, he's in Georgia. The guy he's been on Rogan. What the hell? I read his book too. It's like You Can Farm type thing. It's anyways, he did this funny YouTube video. He's walking around and the cows are drinking out of this trough, and he just dips a cup in there and takes a giant chug. He's like, I drink this shit all the time, you know, staying healthy. Not gonna do some vaccines and all that. Just build up my immunity in nature.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, man. Well, cool, dude. We're gonna sign off. Got anything?
Yeah, just appreciate you guys taking the time to have me here and chopping it up, and it's always good to spend time with you guys. I'm happy that we were able to experience this together and experience jiu-jitsu together.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, dude.
Of course, man.
Like I said in the beginning, man, you are a 360 beautiful human being, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another episode of the Banya. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.